Hey, let's call this meeting to order.
Oh,
That was me, sorry.
A few times.
You're good now.
Okay, at 6:08. Okay, are there any changes or additions to the agenda?
nope.
Okay, we have a few meetings to approve.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently. What have I been doing?
Well, we had a whole bunch of emergency meetings and we had
Oh.
some revotes
Yep.
and
Some.
some.
Some
Okay,
try to beat that record.
so, do I have to read all these? Can I say list as
You can just say.
dated?
As-
Okay.
As listed.
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from May 7th through August 5th.
So moved.
Oh, second.
Okay, so Hannah moves and Heather seconds. Okay. Is there any discussion about any of them except Joy that we're through?
Can we not do that again next year?
Um,
It's not getting any
It's
easier.
not getting any
Let's,
easier.
let's never create a list of 6 meeting minutes.
Summer meetings.
Yes, 6 summer meetings, exactly. Okay, we are all here, so we do not need to do a roll call. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions?
I have an abstention just for the August 5th, because I was not
Okay.
at that.
Okay, so we have an abstention for the August 5th, and,
Wait, do I have to abstain from August 5th too? Because
I think so.
I wasn't here either.
yeah,
I was
I
on the
think,
phone for like a hot second and then we got cut off.
yeah, I think Beth and Heather
Okay.
abstained for
We can
August 5th.
abstain.
Okay, so, A through E is 5-0, and F is 3-0-2. Okay. Is that good for
That's
our
good.
minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do we have any public participation or announcements? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, we are moving. Although, do we have, well, you probably have them in your principal's report, like upcoming dates, so we'll just
Yep.
discuss them then.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the administrative report.
All right, here we go. Wanted to start with some highlights. We have had an awesome first few days of school. Like, it has been so positive. The vibe throughout the building is just on cloud nine. It's really, really wonderful. So I wanted to highlight with a few pictures. Got some middle school kiddos on the left working on a group work challenge together. They were trying to, there's like all 4 strings and they were trying to stack them up into a pile. We had some great students in our PTO help us. We did a chalk the walk for kiddos, but we had the PTO and some students do it for teachers. So that was a little surprise for them coming back on the first day of school, which was great. We had some 2nd grade kiddos having some fun on that 3rd picture. And the next one, we, especially with our littles, right now it is a lot of modeling, teaching, reteaching, going over expectations, building those routines and procedures, which is critically important, especially in those first 6 weeks of school. So that's what our, especially K-1-2s, not just exclusively, but largely K-1-2s are working on. I wanted to highlight, we did some really intentional work that started at the end of last year, but continued into our in-service when we had all staff. So the end of last year, we worked as a group of grown-ups in the school talking about agreements and how do we work alongside and with each other as adults, knowing that the relationships that we have between adults here in the building trickles down to the vibe and the feeling of students across the building. So in the spring, we landed on those 6 agreements that you'll see down below. They derive from Courageous Conversations, which is some work around having discussions around race and other, what could be considered, challenging conversations to have with people. So these 6 agreements are, the agreements our staff agreed to live by and work alongside with, stay engaged, speak your truth responsibly, listen to understand, be willing to do things differently and experience discomfort. The next one's hard, especially for teachers. Expect and accept non-closure. That one's really hard, but and confidentiality. So we're working, not just saying, oh cool, these are our agreements, and then we don't do anything about it. So when we came back in August, we did a small group work with all of the staff. We had all support staff, all teachers, everyone that's in this building we had here. And so we took advantage of that time and did this opportunity where we looked at each of the agreements and asked ourselves questions like, what do you need to hold yourself and others accountable? What might make this agreement difficult for you personally? And it kind of triggered a lot of really good conversations with small groups of staff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was really, really positive work, and it's still not done, right? It's now we're gonna begin to have the conversations around how do we call each other out in a way that still feels okay, and that we can have those tough conversations when situations arise, because they will, you know, between adults, situations arise. So that's what we're going to continue working on moving forward, which is really, really exciting for all of us in the building.
How, and maybe I'm gonna address this to Michael.
Sure.
How did the new staff that were coming in merge? Because it sounds like you guys did some work at the end of last year and then we were bringing it in. So how did that all?
As a new staff, I feel
Yeah.
like it was really easy to be integrated into it.
Okay.
And the energy of the new staff in particular has been fantastic. Like to a person, it's been really nice. Like, they've been integrated well and they've been accepted really well. But they also each bring really positive energy. And they aren't timid about bringing that energy. They're bringing it shamelessly and happily and joyfully. It's really
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like they'll do great in Hartland.
It's,
Yeah.
it is, honestly, it has
Feels good.
been
That's great.
such an amazing start of the year.
So
It
I-
is.
Because like hearing about something that happened last year and then like
Mhm.
you don't want it to
Mhm.
feel like it's being stuffed
Mhm.
down somebody's throat, and it sounds like these are good.
3 of them have said that it was their best start to a school year so far.
Woohoo!
Yep.
To me
That's great.
individually, and asked me the same question, and I agreed. But
Go Heartland!
It's
been really
great.
nice.
It
Nice
is
job,
truly, it's
team.
a great start to the school year.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we needed to work on that, and that
Yep.
like sounds like we
And
did.
it's been really, really intentional work, and it's work that I've been really clear that it's not a, we've done this once and now we're done.
Right.
It's not a
It
check the
is-
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is work.
Process.
Yeah, it's process and it's ongoing, and there will be bumps in the road.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's when, you know,
Yep.
when those bumps happen, we are anchored in those 6 agreements and how we have those conversations with each other, which is great. I
Okay.
wanted to bring a couple things to you. We
Okay.
had West, our student rep who was on the board. West left, living her best life, I think, at KUA. She did help me out over the summer, which was great. I contacted her mom and she got me in touch with West and kind of outlined for whoever, if the board wants to continue with a student rep on this board, West has outlined for us what she did typically in her student report. So I have that ready from West. If you all give me the go-ahead that you want to continue this, what I'll probably do is reach out to Abby Fusco. She's our middle level social studies teacher, and it makes the most sense for me to partner with her, have those conversations with middle school students, and we would go through the same process that we went through the last time.
What is the process?
So essentially, here, I can pull it up. It is, here we go. It walks through that you've got to be at least a 7th grade student to apply, and they need to exhibit these qualities. We would share this document with students and families so they had an understanding of what it would entail. So if a student is interested, they would get signatures from 3 students and 3 teachers who say, you know, we believe this student would be a really good fit for this role. They meet with myself as well as Christine, just to have nothing scary, just a conversation really around like, why do you want it? What makes you interested in doing this work? And then they would meet with you all for, again, another similar short interview around what makes them interested. I think it's, you know, important that to lay out their responsibilities, which are down there as well, that they would be expected to attend all that is reasonable. You know, they're also middle school age kiddos and things do come up, and I know that you all get that really well.
West was amazing.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
here
Good.
every
Yeah.
single meeting. I
She
like,
was.
And she even had theater, which I thought was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
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 So this, if the board is in agreement with it, I would take this forward and with Abby.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think.
My only suggestion is that like, is there a student council or student, what's a leadership?
There's a student, lighthouse team.
Okay.
Yep.
So like, if we couldn't find one person who is interested, maybe opening it up to that group to say like, you know, one of you per month should come and just be a student representative
Yeah.
to just like do the student report, like if no one wants the job,
Yep.
just have that opportunity to be like, there is a seat at this table and, you know, like, so it could
That's
be
a great
opened up
idea.
to anybody to say.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Heather.
So I'll direct this question at Beth. How do we feel about board members' kids?
Somewhere as part of the leader, and like,
I know.
already. Or something like that. Yeah,
It'd be
I don't.
convenient.
I know,
I know,
exactly.
it's true, it would be
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah.
Is there any conflict of interest, you mean?
Well, I don't think there's a conflict of interest, I think
I
it's
mean, she
just a
can't
lack of
vote.
diversity, like
Yeah.
of, I don't know. But they're also representing the kids, not
Yeah,
the
they're not-
family.
Not me.
Right.
And I believe, you know, like whatever student is chosen because they are best for the job.
Right.
And if we felt that a board member's child was best for that, I think that, you know, again, they're not representing us.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to have that discussion ahead of time, because I do picture some board members' children being,
We're gonna do that.
I'm gonna say no to mine, so.
Thank you.
She was already
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah, you're welcome.
We have community service hours, so you can.
Yes, I have community service hours to check through.
The
So.
next is a playground update. You know, we talked a little bit about the playground, but our in-house team, we're gonna meet sometime, if it's not this week, it'll be the beginning of next week to figure out logistics, and I'll send those out not only to you, but also the PTO has already expressed interest in wanting to help as well, which is wonderful. The tentative dates are the 10th and the 11th, which is the Thursday and Friday moving into Indigenous Peoples' Day, or weekend on the following Monday, so that would be, and because it's only the structure, it may have to only be one day, but they wanted to just make sure that they've secured enough time in multiplay, because they'll still send 2 to 3
And
representatives.
it can't be a weekend day, it has to be a weekday for their staffing?
They typically do Fridays, Saturdays.
Okay.
But we had shifted to this thinking that people may travel on that extended weekend. That was the thought.
Yeah,
And
what
Friday
are
was
the-
a half day.
And Friday is also a half day.
I just think
for
about,
kids.
you know, if we just will miss it, I mean, hopefully we get plenty of participation, but just realizing that, you know, people who are working full-time just won't be able to participate.
Yeah,
Which is fine, as long as there's enough people that are not working full-time.
yeah.
well, and if we could offer some childcare to, like, if people are just like, I can't come because I have my kid.
Yeah,
On the half day,
Yeah.
yeah.
yep. We could-
Community service hours.
Community service hours, there you go. I got it. So we will send out logistics as we get them, so now
Yeah.
it kind of gets out of my area of expertise of which large types of equipment we need for certain things. So our maintenance staff is going to help us figure that out, and we'll put out a call for support pretty soon, because I want to get these dates as well as the list of items and things needed sooner than later out to the community.
And now, is this phase 1 of playground, or like, is there a phase 2 for other things that need fixing or redone or such like that?
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
I'm still working on and applying for any grants that come our way. I have a list of them that I was able to have access to. The challenging part is there are some grants we're just not eligible for due to the free reduced percentage numbers that we have, which
Maybe-
eliminates some of.
But maybe if we all fill the forms out this year?
We are I'm pushing them. Yep, we're pushing them. And there's an electronic version, and maybe this is a good time, especially I tried it with my own 2 kiddos, and it took me less than a minute to fill the electronic version out. It's really, really quick.
Oh.
Is the paper thing that we did in the blue packet, that's
Yeah,
different?
that's a blue sheet. No,
Yep.
is that different, or is that the
No,
same thing?
it's the same
It's the same.
That's it, okay, that
Yep.
came home this weekend,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. So yes, we'll end up, Heather, from both sides of being a multi-phase.
Okay,
There's
Got
still
it.
work that needs to be done and upgrades that need to
Yeah.
be made.
Got
This
it.
one was more of the emergency, we've got to figure out
Yes.
this situation, but
Got it.
knowing there's more work to come.
and is there, like, is this playground big, like, grow biggable, that is like not the right word in any way.
Expandable?
But like, so like, is there, so for right now, cause I know that like the original play structure was gonna be like really, really big, do we have room to like add on? I guess is the right word.
To the structure that we're putting in, I'd have to ask Ultiplay,
Yep.
but there is also still the ability to, you know, if we're at a place where we're ripping out the rest of the
Yeah.
things that are not that
Yeah.
structure, then there's a lot of options that we
Okay.
would have available for us.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. And the next is a budget advisory committee that I wanted to bring to you all. So there is a form attached and I can share it if the board would like to have a budget advisory committee. Share this tab, there we go. It would be shared
Yeah.
out to, open to anyone.
Yeah.
And this form up here goes into a little bit of the logistics of what it might be like if someone was interested, so they have a little bit of understanding of what they're getting themselves into before they sign up. And we would start meeting probably November.
Make that big so I can see that, because I feel like I'm.
Is that better?
Is it
Yeah.
possible just to make our screen just the shared, or do we have to have the cameras on?
I think we could have the shared screen anyway.
We don't have to see ourselves.
Yeah, we don't like our, people never need to look at ourselves.
Well, I can zoom it in more.
A board member.
Okay.
I think I can.
And would school board members be involved,
As
excluded?
a school board, a board member.
A board member, thank
A.
you, okay.
If you choose.
Would you like me to read it aloud?
No, I think
Okay.
you can structure the committee the way that you want to. If you don't want a board member on the committee and you just want the administrative team and the budget advisory committee presenting the budget to you, that's.
No, I think it would be really helpful, because the
Yeah.
purpose here is to have open lines of communication,
Yeah.
right, with non-board member community stakeholders, so I
Yeah.
think it would be important, I'm just thinking just about what that means in terms of meeting,
Logistically, yeah.
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 Meetings for people.
Yeah.
So the purpose of this is, as Hannah just said, like this idea that like last year was a little crazy and we're trying to get a group of community members, hopefully, not who are just in the school but outside of the school, to like join in to like is it for them to help with the budget or just like what is exactly going to be their job? Because
I think it's, I mean, yes, to help with the budget, but the budget is really the responsibility of the administration. But to be educated in the process of developing a budget, and it's more people, I mean, so a lot of communities are doing this now.
okay.
This is not unusual. And the idea, let me rephrase this. Some of the comments that we got were that we were doing our budget in a vacuum, which we very much weren't. We were doing all of our budget in public session. But this way, like, I mean, it alleviates that. It provides somebody besides the school board to help back up what goes into the budget and the decisions that are made.
I think this is really important, and I think we absolutely need to figure out a way to engage people sooner than the election day. I worry a little bit, about, again, just realistically, adding a night of meetings for everybody is challenging, and I also worry a little bit about this becoming a little bit siloed, just knowing how complicated this stuff can be. It's going to be more complicated this year, as clearly Vermont's gonna make some changes at the legislative
Hopefully,
level,
something.
right, well, I mean, and knowing that, there can be miscommunication, is there a way that we could just embed a, budget advisory, within the board meeting time, so that it just sort of ensures that the data that's being presented is not just the same, but actually identical, and it reduces the likelihood of miscommunication, and it allows in the moment feedback and discourse with the whole board, and it reduces the number of meetings.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it's worked, the only community that's had an active BAC is Weathersfield.
Uh-huh.
And they meet sometimes in the evening, but during the day in hybrid meetings. Really what happens is, right now we're convening the SU Budget Committee. They're gonna have their first meeting on Friday. And it's really just an overview of the budgeting process, what it looks like. They'll meet in September, October. That budget will go to the SU board in late October. It might get approved that night, it might not. It's important for that budget to get set before we work on the local budgets, because we need to know what the assessment's gonna be. So, late October, November, December, really, the way kind of I see it working, Lindsay's gonna be working with Larry, mostly, developing the budget. And then, cause she's gotta have something to start with when she's meeting with people.
Yeah.
And then she's explaining it to the Budget Advisory Committee, and there might be questions, and it might lead to changes in the budget. And then it's presented to the board, so.
I see, so you feel like the more important discussions between Lindsay and the BAC, more so than the BAC and the board?
Yeah.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's the way it's worked in Weathersfield quite successfully. I think this year, the BAC, a couple of the members, because it was such a difficult year, came to a couple board meetings to support, help explain back up the budget to the
Yeah.
community. But they haven't always done that.
Okay.
I mean, it's,
Okay, I see.
yeah, it's really to get feedback. I mean, Lindsay is the administrator. She's the
Right.
expert in the budget and what's needed for the school.
Right.
It's important to get feedback and
Mhm.
talk to constituents about it, but that's also the role of the board, to be fair. But I know we're trying to make it transparent and open and communicate as much as we can, so.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Is the word advisory the best word for this? Advisory to me means like you are advising. Like, so, like, are the people who are on this committee going to be like, Lindsay, I believe that like this part of the budget, like advising you to do stuff, like, is that?
Yeah, I mean, I
don't
think
know.
that's like what you, I mean, it doesn't mean she has to do it,
Right.
but
Yeah,
Right.
It's like a very strange
counseling
word.
Yeah.
or advising or.
There may be a better word, Heather.
There might be, there might be.
I just feel like advisory.
Typically
like,
within a school district, I think at least around the area, it's called a budget advisory committee.
Right, so there will be that sort of consistent language and people will know what to expect from that
Yeah.
committee. Okay.
Lindsay, is this something that you would like? Like, is
I think
it
it's, I think it's important,
Mm-hmm.
I do, I think it's important to try to get opinions and
Mhm.
thoughts from, because as we can see, you know, there's not many participants that typically come, as much as we'd love more and more.
Right.
There's not many, and this might offer an opportunity for someone who maybe can't make to a board meeting, have another way to
Right.
to participate. And I've seen in communities too, there's sometimes people that are on these types of committees that then end up being school board members. And so it's a way to also kind of get someone else's foot in the door if it's something they're interested in, and if or when a school board position becomes available, someone at least has a little bit of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. It's kind of
I mean, it
not
just
up here.
engages people earlier in this process, that's what we need, right?
I would just hope that people get engaged, I mean.
You might have some interest this
I
year.
hope.
Based on last year's something.
How big is,
I hope.
how big is
Sarcasm.
Weathersfield's,
Yeah, what is it?
advisory
It's
committee?
it's, I think, a board member, Brian, and I wanna say there were 3 or 4 community members last year. It's not huge, but
Is there any, like, like what, how did they pick the community members? Was just 3
They-
people that wanted to be on it, or
no,
was
they
it?
have to write, what
So
did
they would say,
They
it
have
would be
to-
your name, are you a resident of Heartland, what is your address, phone
They
number,
do have
more.
to be a resident.
Yes,
right?
they have to be a
Yes,
resident.
more, you know, how do we get in touch with you, the cell phone, email, why do you want to? Which I think would be that point of like, what kind of qualifications does someone have? And are you able to commit the time? Because it is a time commitment.
You could add, why would you like to join and what are your qualifications for being
Mm-hmm.
An advisor.
Yeah.
An
Yep,
advisor.
I could add it to
Yeah.
this
I mean,
I'm a
like,
question
little
right there.
afraid that that will chase away people that
Maybe don't think that they.
Because I don't know if you need any qualifications per se.
yeah.
Cause you're gonna be
Maybe like-
teaching them.
I mean, we're not
Yeah.
qualified
Yeah.
in any way to
Right.
be
Right.
school board members, I mean, no one asked for my credentials.
I mean, I just, what if
So,
you,
you
what if you have
elect to go.
25 people, how are you gonna
Yes.
select them? You don't
I
want
think
it,
we have to go through, why would you like to be on the budget committee?
and that's enough information to figure
Yeah,
out.
well, we could phrase it as to help us narrow it down. why would you like to be on the budget
Yeah.
committee? So that
Yeah.
it's clear to people that they need to write something.
Yeah.
So I can add that to the beginning part of that question, why would you like to be on the budget?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This would this also include like any community member, even if they don't have any kids in the school
taxpayers?
or
Yes.
taxpayers
Yes,
in
I would hope we
general?
could
I mean, that's kind of what you want,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of want,
But I don't think you can exclude
Well, I was just
non-taxpayers.
thinking, we're gonna have to be a little bit careful that this is not viewed as any type of like litmus test type of questionnaire, right? That like
Right.
this, we're not trying to weed out, you know, so we'll just have to be a little careful if there's a lot of people
Yeah.
interested that.
Yeah.
And if there's a lot and we need a different process to figure out who.
Then we,
who
yeah,
they
if we have to go to a
are,
lottery or, yeah.
Yeah.
So then what we would do, I can have Linda put it, I think the listserv would be a really important place to get this link out to, put it in the newsletter. We can send it out as a mass separate notification, the way Linda will do occasionally, so at least that's 3 different ways in which to get the message out to community
I'm trying
members.
to think what another way is, because unfortunately sometime on the listserv, like you're gonna put this out, you're gonna have people be like, oh, that budget, and like, it's gonna immediately go, people complaining about the budget again, as opposed to like, you know, like, oh, I should join the budget advisory, like, what other ways do we have to like get things like,
There's
I know you can like
Front
put the,
Porch Forum, and then there's a new one.
but like, I mean, there's like,
I know.
I don't know, how much effort do we wanna put into it, like, do we
I
do
know.
like,
I hate the
like,
listserv.
I know, I do too, the listserv,
Well, we can put
Oh.
a sign in front of Damon Hall. like,
yeah,
with one of the.
Or-
residents.
yeah.
It's expensive. Usually don't mail. They don't have a.
Like local news, like is there like a newspaper that, like,
Sounds like Kurt Peterson, we're gonna have to get him on the
Yeah.
job.
I know,
Yep.
You can check
or
with,
maybe Kurt Peterson just wants
yeah,
to join.
check with, town manager.
Sure,
Check
you
with
could
town manager,
write the
check
report.
out-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's no reason
Expense
Kurt,
to
to
it.
any more Kurt Petersons,
We need a lot more for Peterson.
I like that Kurt Peterson. I've never met him, I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a crowd if you like wanted
Oh.
What is
people.
the news, I can't recall on
Once
top
you
of my
read
head,
them,
the
you'll see 'em
newspaper that
all
we
over.
voted on
Yeah,
as-
I'm sure it would.
The
It's
Valley
so
News.
funny
The
how
Valley
it is.
News, the Standard,
Vermont Standard.
Vermont Standard, Mountain Times, no, that's
That's
Kurt
free.
Peterson's.
That's Kurt.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Eagle Times?
We didn't
Is that-
do the Eagle
is
Times.
that
And then
just
Vermont Digger was the
The
other one
Digger.
that
Oh, the
got
Digger.
thrown out, but did we use that one?
I don't
I
remember.
will find out because it's.
And Christine, like, is Windsor doing a budget advisory committee? Sorry, Mount Scottney. How are they?
Same, they're putting it in their newsletter, it goes to the, front porch forums, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Oh, and aren't taxes due soon?
Ugh.
I was just thinking, I mean, just having, available applications at the town hall, people are coming in with a notice.
Just print it out.
Yeah, do that.
Is that really where you wanna put those?
You're in a bad mood.
Already.
I can't believe I'm paying this. I would love to join the budget if completely happen.
Yeah, I've got something to say.
Yeah,
And then they can learn that the budget has nothing to do with the tax rate.
no,
Did we want Linda to post on the listserv?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
just do, I mean,
Do
like,
it.
I don't know.
I'm just waiting for like the, you know, like, please
I'm
join,
like-
and then,
I'm
That's
done
fine,
with the
people,
listserv.
Let it
people
happen.
can people
Yeah.
should show up.
I won't respond to anything on this.
No, none of us do, like,
Yeah.
as board members.
Well, I did. I did.
Yeah.
So I will have Linda do that.
It was respectful.
Some upcoming events that we've got. Starting next week, we start finding our stride. And next week, we also start the drama club. Our back to
yeah,
school
what do you
night
think is finding our stride?
is.
It's Mondays and Wednesdays.
I wanna say, is it 3:30?
At 3:30 to 4:30, does Theo wanna do it, and you wanna bring Russell on Mondays? Cause I can't bring my.
We'll talk afterwards.
Okay, good.
The back to school Title I night is the 26th. We'll start with a little Title I presentation at 4:45, followed by community dinner and back to school night from 5 to 6. And picture day is 10/1.
That's easy to
Your
remember.
haircut
Tomorrow's birthday.
schedule.
Russell already got his.
Is that for us too?
Did you see this?
No.
Yes,
What's
we'd love you to come get your picture
Yes,
for the
please do,
website.
that'd be great.
Only if everybody else is.
Can we dress up like we do in our school, like really awkward?
Sure, you do whatever you want, just goes on the website.
Yeah.
It just goes on the website, it's just for the public to see.
Yeah, it's a way for public to identify who the board members
There you
are.
go. We could do it. We've
You
never done
could.
it before.
He cut out, he just wanted his hair, he just wanted to look
You
like
can
his
also just
daddy.
take a picture of yourself and send it to Lori, but,
He's
or you
super
can come
handsome,
and get
but
your
his
picture,
hair-
your
I
school
feel like
picture
I've done
taken.
it. He doesn't have his locks of love anymore.
I didn't.
So you decide. And if the picture, you know, if the school picture isn't what you want, you can get a retake.
Oh, I'm getting a whole bunch and sending them to my parents.
There is a retake.
You should make your kids put them in their like little wallets.
Oh, like put them in their lockers?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Nostalgia,
Okay.
nostalgia.
We went somewhere else.
Oh,
Christine,
Back to
you're-
our goals.
all right.
Goals.
All right,
Should we go to the next one?
you are in charge of that.
Yes. Do you want me to skip to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've
Whoop,
just got,
just
there we go. So, I'm just gonna share a little bit about the opening of school and how that went and, an upcoming training for you all. I hope you will consider attending. So we, as Lindsay said, had a really, really, upbeat, energetic, positive opening of school. It started with onboarding new staff, and we were able to negotiate an additional day for new staff in the contract that was settled in June, so we adjusted the calendar, and we had 2 full days with our new staff, which is not even enough, but it was much appreciated that we had 2 full days with them. It started with frontline training with Tina, there was some curriculum, training with, curriculum, team, Patty and Angie. All new staff have to take the 90-minute ALICE training, that's our school safety, how to respond, so they had to do that. They had some 7 habits training, they had time with their mentors, they had time in their buildings, which was wonderful. Another pretty exciting thing that happened this year, we sent 3 support staff members to a support staff member training last spring. And it was to start a support staff mentor program, which is something that the support staff have been really asking for. They feel like they get thrown into things with, and they do, not enough training and support. So we had three support staff members go. They actually wrote a grant to help fund it for this year, and they received that grant. I believe it was $17,000. So they can pay themselves and any mentors. Yeah, it's been great, and they are. They have invited staff members who've been hired, support staff members who've been hired in the last 2 years to participate. So people that just didn't get that opportunity are having that opportunity. So we were thrilled about that. It's great. And then we opened school last Wednesday with was it 2 Wednesdays ago?
Yeah.
Time's flying.
Wow.
With a welcome back in service. We started with gratitude because I feel like that's a really important place to start. So we honor our new staff with some swag, some lunch
Should we
boxes.
shout out Betsy, who was, what was that, 40?
40 years.
40
Betsy,
years,
wow.
Betsy
Yeah.
McClure, 40
40 years. So
Wow.
So
That's
the staff
amazing.
get 5-year, 10-year, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and the numbers
Wow.
get
Is she,
smaller and
is
smaller.
she the,
Betsy was
reigning?
40.
Yep.
she the reigning in the district too?
Yeah, she was the only one, 40 years, so she got a personalized gift because when you put 40 years,
Yeah.
you get something
And
special.
still be fabulous. Ruby had her
Yeah.
last year and can't stop
Yeah.
talking about how great she is. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
She's amazing. She's just
She
adapted
really
and,
is.
yeah, so we started there. We had to do some harassment and Title IX training, which is just the way of the world these days. Tracy Price had a good portion of a day with the entire staff, and she is quite an incredible presenter. She's just a natural and makes it look easy, and people are really engaged. We talked about agreements, which is something we've all been working on. Lindsay shared those agreements. And each school has similar ones, Ad Team has similar ones. We're all kind of working to create this culture, and agreements are really important to be able to do that. Talked about identity, common vocabulary, what is equity, what is equality, what is diversity, those types of things, to all get on the same page. And then we reviewed policy, so as a whole staff, we reviewed the anti-racism policy and procedures, the equity policy, the transgender policy. So, that was a really good use of our time as a whole staff. And she'll have another full day in January with the staff to continue the work, which is exciting. Curriculum plan for the year, we talked, the high school's doing, really engaging with the AOE with some proficiency work, which is exciting. The staff had some self-directed time, which, I can't tell you how many staff members just came up and said, thank you so much, for the time. It's really, it didn't feel hectic and rushed, and, one of the things that I shared with them was that, you know, we've, not me personally, but this AOE and just, administration, you know, they've had a lot of new initiatives on their plate for the last, I don't know, decade. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been relentless.
it's a lot. So we just said no new initiatives, we're gonna get good, we're gonna refine what we're doing, and I think that helps
Yay.
to set the stage as well. Yeah, I mean, I told them, I mean, EQS is coming and the new literacy law is coming,
Yeah.
so we're gonna take a little breather, but, you know, next year we'll have another work to do.
EQS be? What is EQS?
Education quality
Oh, quality
standards,
standards,
yeah,
okay.
they've been adopted. They go into place in July of 2025, July 1. I think half a dozen of the admin team are gonna be engaged in a year-long training on
Who's funding
EQS.
this?
Hmm?
Said, who's funding this?
No one.
We are.
No one. Yeah, but we're gonna
Just
be,
another thing.
we're gonna work on how to really, make sure we're embedding those in all that we do, so.
I think, I wanna give a shout out, to our middle school team. Cause I was here I'd promised Torgan that we would walk through her schedule on
Yeah.
Monday. And they were just a team, and it was fun to see. I
Yeah.
mean, like the backside of adults trying to get ready for something, yelling down the hallway and doing things for each other,
Oh, yeah.
and just like keeping track of what everyone needed to do. It was just really like, I just walked out of there like, this is so cool, everybody's working together, and
They seem to be, they have a good, strong leader, team leader, who's helping
Yeah.
to keep things on track, which is great.
Yeah.
And only one new staff member.
Is middle school 6, 7, 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
6,
so
7,
they
8.
seem to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing great things too. I just like that, just the sense of camaraderie, and
Mhm.
we're all in this together. It wasn't like one teacher doing the things to get ready for their classroom. It was like all of them doing all the things to get all of their classrooms ready.
Are stronger together.
Yes, it was really
They-
cool.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we're trying to foster here, so that's great
Yeah.
to hear that, so.
Yeah.
We're sending out a debrief, to the staff, just to see how they felt, opening of school went, and I can share that with you when it is returned. And the last thing, woohoo, really exciting stuff up here. The VSBA conference is October 24th and 25th, but they're doing it a little bit different. I think it's Thursday, late afternoon, evening. So not all day Thursday, and then I think there's a dinner and a celebration of public education that night, and then there's training the next day. So anybody that's interested, you can go for all, part, or none if your schedule doesn't allow.
For dinner.
It's,
Wednesday night for dinner, so one less night I have to cook.
It's usually a really, the conference is usually pretty good.
The conference is actually usually
Yeah.
really good, and
So.
it's encouraging.
Yeah, so anybody that's interested, just email Lori, she will get you registered. Don't feel pressure, I know you're busy, but wanted to present it as an opportunity
It's
for you.
like 50th birthday that I have to deal with that week.
Yeah.
One of those days.
It does, if you go, Nikki, it covers your training for the year as
I
board
know.
chair, but there's other ways to get that. They do a lot of.
50th birthday.
Oh,
Like that day.
Forget it.
So that's not happening.
Happy birthday, we're going to Lake
No.
Maury.
I know.
Yay! We're all celebrating your birthday.
At a school board conference.
no, I would just sharing it out for you,
Right.
if it works for you.
Yeah, no, it is actually a really good conference, so if anybody can
Yeah.
find time, it is worth it.
Awesome, so that's it
That's
for
it.
us tonight.
Okay. Awesome, so, items for discussion is kind of a follow-on, to the administrative report.
Yep.
I think we've covered the student rep and we're in agreement, that we're gonna move through that. I think that's unanimous consent.
Yep.
The playground update, we already voted to expend the money, so we're good there. And were there any, I assume there were no changes to the finances of it, okay. And I
All
think
grant funded.
All grant
Way
funded,
to
yes.
go, Lindsay,
That's awesome.
Perkins.
No
And
logo down.
not to, I hate to harp on this, but if we were to get into a situation where we just couldn't get enough people for the weekdays, is there any flex? flip
It
it?
might depend, because part of it is also the schedule of ulti play.
Right, that's what I
Um,
mean. Are we pretty committed to those dates?
Right now, yes.
Okay,
We
We
But
need to-
it's,
I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
find, I'm sure there will be enough people.
yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what
How many people do they want?
Yes, that's my question, like.
How many, I don't know,
10,
it's like 10.
5?
Oh, okay.
So it's not tons and tons.
Okay.
Um,
We'll have the maintenance team.
Probably can.
Yeah,
do this.
especially
And-
during the school day, we'll additionally have the maintenance team here too,
Yeah,
which
okay,
is
okay.
helpful.
Okay.
It might be nice, we did it in Cornish a long time ago, and there was a group that was in charge of feeding the workers.
Yeah.
Yes, I did talk to Ian about that. He was more than happy to help in any way that he can too.
What?
Ian
Our
was
food
the
service director.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right,
They went to Garcia.
yeah.
My kids were commenting on the new pizza.
Yes.
Yes, new crust, I
Yeah,
heard
the
rave
new-
reviews,
new
I
pizza-
got a
new
taste
pizza's
test
good.
before,
Yeah.
yep, the
Good.
crust.
Ruby,
I heard that as well.
Ruby,
Yep.
Ruby was like, the pizza's different. I was like, good.
That's great.
One less lunch.
I refuse
I
to
know.
do it twice a week.
Like you pack,
Same.
you pack your own or you eat with there.
Yeah.
That's right. I will do it for the little people, but not the second grader.
Oh, I never even did it for the little people. You're off. Eat there or you're out of luck.
The 8-month-old, I feel like, deserves
Yeah,
some
yeah.
Well,
support
yeah,
in
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I guess.
Actually, I kinda didn't think of that either. Wasn't my strong point. And the budget advisory committee, we agreed to move forward with,
Yep.
so we're good there. So, setting the next agenda. This is, where Christine and I and Lindsay have been talking, and I think we've mentioned it at board meetings. Because there's so much work going on at the SU level, there's a lot of redundancy in our meetings, and we're also getting really good at flying through them. And so we were gonna propose to skip the October meeting. And Christine had actually created a schedule
share with
of
you.
meetings
Yeah.
that were appropriate to skip.
There's only 2.
There's only 2, but
Two's better
We'll,
than
don't
none.
worry, we'll make up for it.
yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christine, like,
I
there
was
were
just-
6.
You did a lot of meeting last year.
And they
yeah.
were within.
I will make a motion to skip the October meeting. Is
Okay.
that the motion that you need?
I'll second.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I wanna show the
I
public
will-
that there was thought that went into this.
I
It's not
will-
like us sitting around and being like, hey, let's not
Yeah.
meet next week.
And
Now Christine went through like important milestones in the year.
I just
so-
shared it with you all.
Okay. So we'll make a motion to skip the October meeting.
So does that
Um,
mean like in lieu of that, like we should go, like we should attend the big
The
board
playground
meeting?
installation?
Well, the big, the
That
big
is,
board
The
meeting.
if you
SU?
can, great.
Okay.
Yeah,
SU
the SU meeting, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Oh, I
if that frees you up to attend an SU meeting, that's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly not gonna say no to that. You can't vote at an SU meeting. Sorry. Okay, so I have a motion from Hannah. Is there a second?
Me.
Okay, Brian. Okay, Hannah makes a motion to skip the October meeting, seconded by Ryan. I think we've already had discussion. Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay,
If-
abstentions?
Can I ask a question, like if something comes up, like we
We'll
need to
need
do an
to-
executive session?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then we have to.
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
as always.
Yeah, no, we have special meetings
Emergency meetings.
and emergency meetings.
Got it, okay.
We can do anything we need, but,
Yeah, we
there's,
won't put off making a decision
Okay.
if we need to do it.
Right.
Sorry.
I mean, it's just kind of a recognition that our agendas are a little light and that I think as much as we all enjoy being together, we can skip a few nights. And it'll be right around the time of the playground install, so we'll just go install a playground instead. Okay, so that, for record keeping, that was a vote of 5-0-0. Okay, so, the next agenda will be November, which will be budget
November
season.
5th, yeah,
Are we there
preliminary budget.
already? Can we take a
Well,
break?
we skipped October.
Yeah.
I know,
How
but it just
preliminary,
feels-
it'll be
Yeah.
very preliminary in
Yeah.
November.
So we'll have a preliminary SU budget by then.
And should,
Um,
the budget committee will already be meeting?
Probably starting to meet, yeah. So you can have a preliminary budget and BAC update.
Are we hoping to have the BAC in place, like ASAP?
Probably by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can have Linda send it out
Yeah.
through this week.
Yeah.
It'll be in the Wildcat Weekly this Friday. Linda can put it out in the listserv this week, so we'll.
And
Seems realistic.
we
Do you want
don't
the
need to
deadline
like
on that?
We
lose
can,
people, right? Like, is that
we
not
can-
something that's?
Yeah, we can either delegate to Lindsay and Christine to approve people, or, we can approve people as long as we don't talk about it. So we could like create a ranking and guide selection. I don't know that, I don't know that I need to be involved.
Is it
Who's
better
on
that
the
we're
committee?
not involved?
I think it probably might be.
Because maybe
Yeah.
you'd be less biased.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I'm trying, sounds like I'm just trying to shirk responsibility.
No, I think that's wise. I think that's wise.
Christine and I
We can
figure
figure it out, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anything else in
Play,
November?
we'll
that-
do playground
Yep.
Playground.
update, and then we have on here, student growth report, we're gonna
Yep.
try to come back with,
Yes.
data disaggregated as well, as much as we can, like by gender, by free and reduced, just our academic data.
Yep.
for
Yeah.
times
That's
next
the
year.
star data.
Awesome.
And we had, in the work plan, which I shared with you, teacher or student presentation of learning, if you have your student on the board by
Yep.
then, it can be that, or whatever you want. It's good to hear from the kids,
Yes.
or the teachers, or both.
That's great. Great. Okay, so I think that that's a good budget. Budget.
Agenda.
Agenda.
The budget is the first thing on the agenda. So this is my brain. Okay. So now we move to an executive session, which we need to have. And I brought my handy laminated how to run an executive session.
Nice.
So here we go.
Whoa, is this what you get at the special?
No, this is what they mail to you, apparently.
If you're the chair.
Board.
If you're the board chair.
That's what you get, congratulations, the board chair, here's your fancy.
Here's your fancy laminated.
It's open meeting law. So
It is, it's open meeting law, but, I have it.
you can go for it.
But I have to figure out which one it is. Okay, I think it's, I think
Says
we're under,
contract.
yes, we're under, VSA 313A1, and this is relating to a contract.
You got it.
Okay, so, so the first motion that the board would move is I move to find that premature general public knowledge regarding regarding a contract clearly places the board at a substantial disadvantage because the board risks to closing, no, but this isn't, whatever. I don't know how to read
There's
this.
so much I
We're
love
gonna
about
go
this right now.
into executive session to discuss it.
Contract, isn't that all
Thank
we
you.
need to say?
Yes, this is like,
Yeah.
holy
That's-
moly.
That
Maybe
laminate
that's
is too much.
This is too
They
much and it
overlaminated.
like is hard for me to even
To follow.
translate it into this issue, so, it's a contract issue. Motion?
Motion.
Heather moves, Beth seconds, all those in favor of going into executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, abstentions, okay.
At
We can-
6:56. Friday.
I don't have a computer, but I use my phone.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or,
you don't have a computer?
get you a
Take your
computer.
computer away or
No,
anything?
I have a computer, but it's kinda a little old and we're in the process of maybe buying it. I don't know.
Yes, you can join from your phone.
Maybe they
It's
can give you a
complicated.
school.
Alright, let me start the,
We're still in it.
yeah, but I logged out, I gotta record it, so hold on.
Okay, so that right there means that you should not be back at work.
Yes, I think that's a sign from, that's like
I was
divine.
We have no actions based on the executive session, but we do need to,
Hannah has to make an announcement.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Hannah has to make an
I
announcement.
unfortunately will be unable to participate in the SU budget committee that's gonna meet on Friday mornings, as previously committed, so.
and we were looking to see if there was anybody else that might be interested.
What time is it?
8:30.
Till.
9:30.
till-
So it is, I can
They
tell you the
say.
dates, hold on.
They
It's
say.
this
They say.
Friday at 8. Now, if there's one you can't make, Ryan, we take minutes and we can share all the materials with you. And you can
That
have your
should be
questions
fine.
asked, but it's 8:30 this Friday, and then I think it's every other Friday, so I think the next one's the 20th.
And then,
And then the 4th, I think there were
Four of them.
4 of them.
okay.
Yay,
Yay,
Ryan!
Ryan!
Yay, Ryan!
Do you want a second T-shirt?
I
I can find another design
I
style.
think you need to bake up some cookies in your spare time.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Right, that's right.
You've got a lot of spare time, Hannah.
Yeah, we'll put Torgan on
Drowning.
Okay, no, that's great.
She has
It'll
no spare
actually,
time.
it's probably a good learning experience for any
It
board
actually
member
will be
anyway,
really
so,
good.
yeah.
We'll just paint a silver lining
Yeah.
for you.
But we have no October meeting.
Right.
There's one.
Well, you know, yeah, so,
No, you don't have to worry about it. Make it
Moves
better.
1, game 4.
yeah.
Right, right.
That's,
Yep.
that's fair.
That's called elementary school math.
It's called
School board math.
Yeah.
School board math.
School board
There's one
math.
game.
It's different than chicken math, actually, it's kind of the
All
same
right.
as chicken math.
Can you send me the, is
Yeah.
there like invites or?
I'm
whatever
gonna
for-
call Larry from my car and,
Okay.
yeah, send you everything.
So I think at that point, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, Beth moves to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
I don't know what just
All
happened.
those in favor?